Color. You're looking live at the Central Sports Complex Arena on the campus of Wayzata Central Middle School for Junior Gold B hockey action. The final regular season game for these Chaska Chanhassen Purple Stormhawks in their road black uniforms. Currently fourth place in their division standings with a 16-6-1 league record. And they have a 28-1 overall record. They're taking on the Trojans, Wayzata Blue, wearing their home whites. Currently hanging on to 8th place in these standings with an 8-12-1 record in division play. These two teams met way back on December 6th, and the Stormhawks only their second or third regular season game. And Chaska Chanhassen came victorious 3-0. Chaska Chanhassen will be without one player on their roster tonight, and it appears to be Cameron Biller. Don't see him on the ice. Chaska Chanhassen has been kind of struggling of late. They're 2-3 in their last 5. 2 losses, though, are to the number 1 team in the league, Elk River Black. Other loss was to the number 7 team, Orono Blue. And then they have wins in their last 5 against Sartell and last place Rogers. Final regular season Junior Gold hockey game for 13 seniors on this Stormhawk team. And I'll be curious to see who gets the net tonight. I believe it'll be Max. Actually, I know the answer to that. We're going to split time like we did last night. Max Worthington should get the start tonight, and he'll get relieved midway through the game by Charlie Thomas. Little breakdown between the two teams. Stormhawks 4th in the standings with 54 points. The Trojans tied for 8th with 36 points. Point percentage, 4th for the Stormhawks at .783. Trojans are 7th at .571. Stormhawks are 5th in the league with 95 goals scored. The Trojans are 10th with 61. Chaska Chanhassen is 4th in goals against with 47. The Trojans are 6th with 62. And the goal differential, Chaska Chanhassen once again 4th at +48. And the Trojans -1 for an 8th place spot. Trojans are battling here in their last 3 games to try to stay in the top 8, which we understand will advance them to the play-down tournament next weekend in Maple Grove. And down in front, so it looks like I think it'll be Worthington in net. He's the one that's kind of closest to the goal right now. Final instructions from head coach, no, not head coach Chris McPhillips. Somebody else is giving instructions. McPhillips standing there stoically away from the pile. It is Worthington in net. And your starting forwards will be Dylan Olson at center, Bear Nelson at left, Will Annis at right, and defenseman Josh Lund and Dawson Perry. I have to change my angle here as I can't see around everybody to the bottom part of the ice, so bear with me here. Starting forward, the Trojans in net. Number 30, Aiden Jolovich, who has, I believe, played the last 6 games for the Trojans with a 3-3 record. He's got some good numbers aside from a .500 record. His goals against and save percentage are pretty good. Now a turnover, pass in front, off the stick of Worthington, and right in on Worthington. Stormhawks careless with the puck, which has kind of been a theme for this squad in recent weeks. Dumped in by the Trojans. It will be Perry on it. Touches it over to Nelson. Nelson kicks it to his skate, then loses it. Pass to the high slot. One-time shot going wide. Now gathered by Lund. Hill headman slides off his stick and kept in by the Trojans. 3-on-2. Long shot. Stick saved by Worthington. Stormhawks just kind of repeating what happened last night. Not taking care of the puck. Now given it's Perry. Into the zone. Perry coming in. Sharp angle shot never gets on. Slap shot by Lund. Tipped into the corner. And a 2-on-1 rush coming for Wayzata. Didn't even look to pass. He shoots it high. Over the net. Comes all the way out. Long shot going wide. Good start for the Trojans here. Wayzata with it. They had somebody alone in the slot for a moment. CCHA chases a puck up high, and then it goes into the netting behind. And we'll get a face-off to the right of Worthington. 13:24 to go in the opening period. Scoreless, and the puck has been on a Wayzata stick for the majority of this contest, and they're early going. CCHA just not good with the puck in this past couple, 2-3 weeks. Face-off won by the Trojans. Pass to the slot. Brits broke it up initially, but didn't win the puck. Wayzata dumps it in off the stick of Curtin out of the right circle. Pass in front. That's broken up by Tyler. He'll swing it around, but too far for O'Connell, and then it's chipped into the netting by Worthington. We get a whistle. Kurt wins it to Robinson. Robinson over to Tyler. Tyler to Kurt. He'll throw it off the wall, and it'll come around for O'Connell. Comes out to Kurt. He throws it behind for Tyler to gather. Tyler with the puck. Gives to Brits. Long shot goes wide on the far side, or on the stick side. Now Robinson fans on a dump-in attempt, allowing Wayzata to skate up. Tipped away by Kurt initially, then tipped away by Kurt again, but right to the stick of a Wayzata player coming in late. Passes it in front, and that comes all the way through. Tyler off the wall, and a little too strong for O'Connell to chase down. And they'll get a change of forwards. Wayzata will skate up. Dump in. And be the first on the puck. Good pace for the Trojans in this game, and Stormhawks a little bit on their heels. Pass up to the top of the slot, right to a Wayzata player, and kept in by the Trojans, and they're looking like Elk River right now with their strong forecheck to this point. Brits. He's cut off, still fighting through a check, and he got through two Trojans, couldn't get through the third. Now a shot pass off a leg, bounces to McPhillips. McPhillips throws it in on net. Not sure that was intended. I think he tried to throw it behind the goal, and Max Worthington will get a glove on it and get a whistle and get a change. 11:38 to go. Stormhawks still looking for their first shot here in the first period. Won by Wayzata. Long shot. Oh, and it changed directions and just caught the side of the net. Now Long. Pass to Severson. Nice breakout pass there. Severson, his pocket picked. Long helping out. Able to slice it ahead. Now forced to the neutral zone. Jacqueline to Reinhardt. Reinhardt to the middle. It's going to spin its way almost to the stick of Long. Popa jumping up. Throwing the Popa special. And Wayzata able to get on the loose puck. Dump it in. Now Popa chasing. Here comes another Popa special. There it is. Popa around the wall. That's kept in by the Trojans. Reinhardt looking to go off to the rush. He just missed getting out on an odd man rush, or at least a one-on-one rush. Popa running all over the place, throwing checks. Here's Reinhardt, loses it in his skates, pushed down for Popa. Into the corner, bumps off the wall. Now Annis pops the stick of Long. Now dumped right back in. Popa throws it in front of the Stormhawk bench and then dumped right back in by the Trojans. Reinhardt around to Popa. Touches it up the wall to Long, but it doesn't get there. Knocked out by Reinhardt, and the Stormhawks will chase, but just no possession by Chaska Chanhassen. Now intercepted by... Oh, what a great play there by Olsen. Intercepted by Olsen. Fed a streaking Nelson who's going back door. He chipped it or redirected it, but just wide. Now Wayzata on the attack. Shot on the glove side off the top of Worthington's glove. Perry around for Lund. He gets pressure and his pass just out of reach of Annis. Wayzata regroups in neutral ice. Skates up 2-on-3. Tipped away by Nelson to the stick of Lund. He'll regroup in the corner. Nice job to find Nelson on the far side. Then Nelson kind of handcuffed Olsen, and it's chipped back out by the Trojans to Perry. Perry with it. Leaves for Olsen. Olsen will battle through some checks into the corner, and we'll see who comes out with it. Bounces out to Nelson. Jumps around a couple of checks. Gives it down to Olsen. Pass to Annis. Comes all the way to Perry. Long shot, glove save. .8:59 to go. We got a penalty to Barrett Nelson. I never saw that. Can you give me a piece of tape and the line chart? So a penalty came to Barrett Nelson. I did not see the call, and it must have come after the whistle, after the shot. So first power play of the game coming for Wayzata. I never saw the call. Face-off controlled by the Trojans. Stormhawks for a moment left the middle of the ice open, but then they shut it off. Now a shot pass tipped away by Lund to Perry. Perry tried to feed it back to Lund. Perry comes up with it. He'll throw it all the way down, and Wayzata will have to go 200 feet. Jumping up is Tyler. Kicks it to O'Connell, and then O'Connell tried to chip it in, and instead it goes to Wayzata. Chasing is Perry. Perry through the middle of the ice, intercepted at the blue line. Out to the right circle and dumped left circle and thrown all the way down. Long outlet pass misses everybody. They wave icing, saying Lund could have played it. Lund around the wall to O'Connell. He's cut off. Now Perry jumping in on the puck. Throws it around to Lund. And slides off his stick and allows Wayzata to keep it in. Redirected right to the referee. He had to fight off the puck there. Dumped all the way down. Stormhawks will get a partial change of their killers with 45 seconds left to go on the Bear Nelson penalty that we have no idea what was called. Here comes the Trojans. Long shot sicked away by Worthington to Lund up the wall, and it gets by the Trojans. Chasing is Kurt. Wayzata goes D to D or D to forward, and in come the Trojans. Long shot goes wide on the glove side. Now to Kurt. Kurt around the wall to Lund. Lund off the near wall, and it comes out. Trojans get it by McPhillips, picked up in the neutral zone. Taken away by Lund, gets it across the red line, but no farther. Dumped in by the Trojans to Perry. Perry off the wall, gets it out as the penalty expires to Nelson. Wayzata 0 for 1 on the power play. Dumped all the way down to Britz. Hops, bounces off his stick and allows Wayzata to dump it in. 6:40 to go in the opening period. We're still scoreless. Lund has been out there for the entire penalty and then some more. He's struggling to get to the bench. Lund up ahead, tried to give it to Deming. Now Brits. Brits just shot right on, no rebound. 6:22 to go in the opening period. We're scoreless. Stormhawks with just 2, maybe 3 shots on net. Worthington has had to fight off 4 to 6 shots to this point. No shot board that I've seen. Wayzata will control off the faceoff, stepping up his Brits, forced down by the Trojans. Robinson loses control. Wayzata throws it in front. And then the shot goes wide. Brits is cut off. Now Robinson will chase with McPhillips. Robinson trying to push it ahead. He battles, thrown in front, intercepted by Brits. Otherwise, a great scoring opportunity. McPhillips reverses, flips it up and out. Good speed by number 7 there. It looked like Brits or Deming could have won a race, and he got on his horse. Brits throws it in deep. Now Deming loses a puck down there. Deming chasing. Stormhawks got to be careful here. They got 4 guys low. Now Jacqueline recognizes it. Deming throws it in front, but couldn't get it to Severson. And then it's whacked all the way down the ice for an icing with 5:20 to go in the first period. Still 0-0. So Stormhawks next in action sometime next Friday. Anywhere between about 10:45 or 6 p.m. will be their first game. And we'll explain how we think they're going to seed that tournament. Popa, a little one-timer, partially fanned on, gets it to the top of the circle. Popa jumps up, and then there's another Popa special. Now Wayzata on the attack. Pass to the far side. It'll be Popa first on it. Popa. And I got distracted there, so didn't see exactly how it got in on net. But Worthington makes the save. Hubbard to take this face-off. No, excuse me, Severson, not Hubbard. Round for Jacqueline. Jacqueline pinned to the wall, and keeping it in is Wayzata. Chipped up and out, and right into the special area of the linesman, and he just narrowly missed becoming a soprano. Go to a dump in, or a little play at the blue line by the Trojans. Now up to the point, blocked up high by Jacqueline. Long shot, glove down by Perry, and it bounces to the backside, and Worthington finds the puck and gets a whistle with 4:26 to go in the first period. Little by way of offense for Chaska Chanhassen. What has been a theme of this team is beyond the turnovers is just their inability to make crisp passes to allow the puck to do some more work instead of guys just trying to take it coast to coast. Long shot, looking for a deflection in front, and it goes wide. Gathered by Nelson. His pass right to the stick of a Wayzata player. Now Nelson throwing a check, passing to the slot. Bouncing puck. Nelson has his stick lefted and allowing Lund to skate in on it. Through the center of the ice, off the stick of Olsen to Wayzata. And he's stopped at the red line. Big hit by Nelson. Here comes Annis. Annis, his long shot. He's cut off before he'd get on it. Now Olsen and Nelson. It's Olsen coming out with it. Pass to the back door. He had Annis on the back door, but too firm and too far for Annis. Now Lund throws it up the near side to Annis. He tried to chip it to Nelson. Now gathering a loose puck. Lund to Olsen. Olsen drops for Annis. Long shot. Glove save. Stormhawks, that's pretty much their shots to this point. Long distance shots. And if that's going to be the offense, they have to have guys taking away the eyes of the goalie. And we have not seen that to this point of Stormhawks wanting to get to the dirty area and just create a screen of the netminder. And he's a small goalie, so a big body might make a difference down there. Perry in his zone, across to Annis. He'll skate 2-on-3 and drops it to Wayzata. Maybe he was calling for the puck. Wayzata now at their blue line. Long cross-ice pass off a stick of a Trojan to Perry. Perry fumbles the puck. Allows Wayzata to come out. And pass in front, tipped away by Worthington. And Perry comes up with it eventually. Now Kurt able to dig it up to the point. He battles for it. Bouncing puck. Nobody able to get firm control. Perry, he had Kurt streaking down the middle of the ice. And he can't get it through the defenseman. Kurt was, we'll say cherry picking, but it wasn't really cherry picking. He was lurking there for a breakaway. Now Kurt intercepting. Long shot into the midsection of the goaltender. Stormhawks have to really work a little harder to get into a better scoring area. Their shots, I'm not sure, have come below the top of the circle to this point. 2:13 to go in the first period. Face-off one back to Popa. Mishandles it, and it's a 2-on-1 rush coming for Wayzata. Big hit thrown by Reinhardt. Now picked up by Tyler. Gives it down to O'Connell. Coming in late is Reinhardt. Giant check thrown by Reinhardt on the 2-on-1 rush. Tyler in the corner, down to O'Connell. Wraparound shot, and it slides off his stick before he can get the shot off. 3-on-2 coming the other way. Now to the left circle pass in front, looking for a redirect. Instead it comes up the far wall. Jumping out it is Kurt. Kurt will skate 1-on-1. Cuts to the middle. Kurt with it. Comes in, he's shot right into the W of the Wayzata logo. And that's the best chance of the night for Chaska Chanhassen, and might be their first true good shot below the dots. .127 to go in the opening period. We're still scoreless. Stormhawks looking like maybe a little bit of momentum coming. And maybe it was that hit thrown by Reinhardt that gets the Stormhawks energy up a little bit. Good forecheck here to start this shift. Good check thrown there by McPhillips, and then he had Deming coming for the puck, and unfortunately McPhillips kind of tipped it away from him, it looked like. Now Robinson up the near wall to McPhillips. McPhillips had to get his head up there, otherwise he was going to take a hard hit. Dumped down by the Trojans. It'll be gathered by Brits in Stormhawk territory. Brits protecting the puck, going up the far side. Pocket is picked. Now Deming around to Robinson. Robinson to McPhillips. And a bouncing puck bounces off of Deming, comes to Hubbard. Hubbard's long shot. High shot, glove save. 31.7 to go in the first period. Severson to take this draw. Face-off won by the Trojans. Stopped there by Brits. And he's able to dump it down deep for Severson. In front, comes out to Brits. His shot well over the net. Like a 9-iron there by Luke Brits. Jumping up is Robinson. He holds the zone. 14 seconds to go in the first period. Around the wall on the near side. Trying to throw it out are the Trojans. Picked up by the Trojans with 7 seconds. Severson battling down low with 2 seconds. And that'll do it for the opening period. 0-0 after 1. Wayzata with the strong start. Stormhawks with the strong finish of the period. Second period about to get underway. We're scoreless after one. Do not have a shot totals for you, but seems like it was pretty even. Wayzata with the strong play to start the period, and then Chaska Chanhassen with a strong finish to the period. So we'll say it was even at 7 shots apiece, somewhere in there. Wayzata with the lone power play of the period, and of course they're 0 for 1. Jacqueline gives it to Severson. He's cut off, taken down, penalty coming, and a quick whistle as Wayzata hadn't quite touched the puck yet. But either way, Wayzata will take their first penalty of the game. Power play coming for Chaska Chanhassen just 13 seconds into the period. Stormhawks get one of the top 2 lines out on the ice. Comes to Nelson. Nelson skating the goal line. That's forces him down deep. Now Lund up high. Across to Perry. Perry looking back door. Bouncing puck. And now stopped by Lund. Good thing. Otherwise, here's a chance now for Nelson. His shot off a stick and goes wide. Stopped at the blue line by Lund. Lund battling. Not getting any help from a teammate. And that allowed Wayzata to dump it down. Chasing is Perry. Perry stepped away from the puck, and that allowed Wayzata to get on it. Now Trojans shorthanded. They'll just dump it in deep. Stormhawks puck watching while they're on the power play here. Absolutely no reason to be so passive. Now off the glove. It'll be a hand pass, but not caught there by the officials. Lund winding up in his own zone. Lund through neutral ice. It's closed off there. Now behind the net. Around the wall. Nelson's got to hustle. And he does to keep it in. Throw around to the far side. Lund's got to hustle on that side. And he catches the puck there. To behind the net. Gets by Olsen. He'll chase it down in the near corner. Up to Annis as they settle things down a little bit, and then an errant pass gets by Olsen and dumped all the way down. Worthington throws it around to the far side. Perry stops and turns the puck over. He's been, I'm going to have to say it, he's been a bit of a turnover machine here in the first period and a couple minutes. Now Tyler creating a turnover to throw it to the far side for Annis to gather. Penalty expires. Stormhawks 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Turnover now coming the other way. Wayzata. Now Lund. And this group of forwards has been out there the entire time. Not Tyler. He came out. Finally they change. And Wayzata with control. Goes around to the far side. O'Connell able to stop it in front of the bench and dump it down deep for Tyler. He's pushed off the puck. Kurt jumping in. He'll chip it behind, try to get it to Tyler, but the puck just stayed right there. Ritz now hopping in. Knocked down by the Trojans. Slides up. Kurt jumps in. He'll throw it to the near side into the corner and behind the net. Ritz now behind the net. Try to throw it in front. That's off a stick. Tyler throwing a check and coming up with the puck. Tyler throws it in front, and then it gets by Robinson, and Kurt will be chasing in front of Worthington. Kurt's pass off the shaft of a Wayzata stick, and it'll be Britz. He'll leave for Robinson. Robinson's pass too far for Kurt, and that'll go for icing. So both teams 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Stormhawks with the power play in the second period, Wayzata with the power play in the first. 11:38 to go in the second period. We're still scoreless. Face-off won by Chaska Chanhassen. Britz around the wall. Gosh, the Stormhawks have got to get away from breakout by ringing the puck around the boards. It's just not feasible. Now a turnover. Skating in is McPhillips, just on sides. His pass off a skate, trying to feed it to Hubbard or Deming. Fed out now by the Trojans off the stick of Brits. He has to chase in his own zone. He'll get it up to the blue line, but not out. Pass in front, intercepted by Brits. He's trying to go up the middle of the ice. He's cut off. Now, finally fed out by the Trojans. They'll just whack it right back in, and it'll be Robinson to look to break out for Chaska Chanhassen. Robinson up to McPhillips, and then a tripping call against Brits. And this referee is saying, just go to the box, go to the box. And he doesn't know that Luke Brits wants an explanation for every little penalty that happens on the ice. So Brits will get the tripping penalty with 10:47 to go in the second power play of the game for Wayzata. Wayzata controls off the faceoff. Long shot, save Worthington. Bouncing puck, Lund comes up with it and throws it all the way down the ice. Severson stops a puck briefly, but it comes right to a Wayzata player. Now a redirected shot pass goes behind the net, off the wall to the blue line, but not out. Severson intercepts and dumps it all the way down. Now Long stopping an outlet pass. Wayzata into the zone. Tipped away by Lund. Lund will pitchfork it all the way down. And Stormhawks will get one penalty killer off the ice. It's a lot harder in the second period with the long change. 51 seconds left to go on the Brits penalty. Up the far wall, it gets by Wayzata. Dumped down into Wayzata's territory by Lund. Now that was a chance for Hayes Long to get off the ice right there. Instead he stays on, so hopefully he has energy still to kill probably the rest of this penalty. Turned over, Olsen able to get it to the blue line, kicked in by the Trojans. And Olsen holding the puck for the longest time there. I'm not sure what he was waiting for. Lund, his dump out is intercepted, then to Perry. Perry gets it all the way down. That should pretty much kill the penalty. And Wayzata will go to 0-2 on the power play. As Brits jumps out, Perry with the puck in his own zone. Off the wall to Nelson, but he's cut off there. Wayzata with it. Try to get up the wall. Now Perry fighting through a couple checks. Slides to Reinhardt. He fans on his initial pass. Now he'll dump it behind the net, but Wayzata first on it. Gets past the stick of Nelson. Long shot off the stick of Worthington out of the far side. Reinhardt gathering. Reinhardt hops over the stick of Annis and kept in by the Trojans. Reinhardt handcuffed himself there as he was passing to Nelson. Nelson around to Annis. If you can't get out now, you're never getting out. Annis gets it up to Olsen, and slow attack. Pass down the near side. And Nelson just threw it to an open area where there was absolutely nobody wearing a black jersey. Oh boy. Pass there from, I think it was Reinhardt that Popa couldn't handle, and thankfully Stormhawks just giving pucks away. It's a shot by Annis, 5-hole, looking to go 5-hole, saves, goes into the corner. Now Annis getting a pass from Nelson, him circling away, still with the puck. Eventually he's pushed off it, but he's able to keep it in deep. Wayzata gathers and dumps it down for an ice. With 7:08 to play, and I think that means we'll see Charlie Thomas come in the net. We will. Max Worthington's night is over. And he doesn't allow a goal on about 10 shots, we'll say. Charlie Thomas will take over for the Stormhawks in this final regular season game. Both of those goalies, of course, are seniors, so they have 2 games left in their careers, or minimum of 2 more games left in their career. Could be more. Kurt skating in. Comes right in. It's shot from a sharp angle. The goaltender stayed true to the puck. Kurt around to Tyler. Tyler tried to pass it, I think, to Kurt on the far side. Now Kurt with it off the stick of O'Connell. O'Connell circles away. Down to Tyler. Hops over his stick. The ice on that end of the ice of the rink is... seen pucks bounce a lot right around by the Zamboni doors over there. Bounces to O'Connell. O'Connell tried to throw it in front. That's stopped. Now Robinson looking to hold the zone, and it slides out. O'Connell chips it ahead and then dumped in by Tyler, and Kurt will chase. Almost winning the puck. That would have been a potential tap in there with O'Connell coming late. Now Robinson tried to throw it in front and fans on it. Now Britt's picking up a loose puck. Tried to feed it through the legs. Gathered now by O'Connell. He loses control, and Wayzata will skate up. They lose control there. Tipped away by Brits. He'll skate up 3-on-1. And loses it there and can't get a handle on it. The puck is, oh my goodness, look at that trench in front of the Zamboni. Here's a chance right on. Kurt once, twice, rebound. O'Connell, his shot saved. And it goes to the far side. Perry dumps it into the near corner. Tyler around the wall, down for O'Connell. O'Connell leaves for Brits. Brits try to throw it in front. It's stopped there. Hubbard dumps it in deep. Stormhawks changing during the play. Now turned over to Perry. Perry dumps it right back in, but he's offside. Ooh, Perry had to win that puck because Lund had gone down. Now dumped all the way down for an icing as Wayzata looks to relieve some pressure. With 4:59 to go, Kurt with great chances in front, and he's going to blame that stick of his that he bought after he broke his last stick. He's got 1 goal on that stick and scoreless in his last 5. He does not care for that Warrior stick that he bought. McPhillips to take the face off. Won by McPhillips, to McPhillips. He'll throw it around for Deming, off the side of the net to the goaltender, and Stormhawks a little late coming in. McPhillips at the top of the circle, down to Hubbard, in front, try to find Deming. There's a shot, stopped by the goalie, and then the net's off as they blew the whistle before the puck goes in, as the net had come off. I would have had no idea who scored that goal as they were just chopping away at the side of the net. Stormhawks just there ever since the midway point of the first period. They've picked up their game. Maybe that hit by Otto Reinhardt got them going. Here is McPhillips. Wins it back to Lund. Lund's shot blocked up at the dot and dumped ahead. It'll be Hubbard on it. Hubbard to Lund. Lund to Deming. Deming loses it in the snow, and it's thrown all the way down for an icing. 4:18 to play in the second period. We're still scoreless. If I remember it, it's a relatively low-scoring game for a while on December 6th. It ended up being 3-0, but the score was a close game for the majority of that game. The Stormhawks just pulled away late. McPhillips wins it straight back to Lund. Lund passed right to Perry. He had to hurry in one time, and his shot goes wide. Now McPhillips intercepting. losing it. Here's a chance for Wayzata. Breakaway. And Worthington looked like he was beat, but there's a pass in front. Puck slid off the stick of the attacker. Now Perry coming up with it. With a slash coming for against Wayzata. Tipped away by Perry. And it'll be a slashing call against Wayzata. Oh, that's sorry. It wasn't. I just said Worthington. It's Charlie Thomas. Thomas way out of his net on that breakaway. A lot of discussion here between the Wayzata bench and one of the referees. Not sure what that was about. Just clarifying something, it seems. So Stormhawks going on their second power play, number 19 of Wayzata getting his second penalty of the game. I'm not sure why they threw O'Connell out. It was Wayzata that jumped in first. Kurt wins it to Lund. Down to O'Connell. His pass, he tried to give to Perry. Fans on now to Tyler behind. That's intercepted. O'Connell has to battle for it. And he'll lose that battle. And Wayzata will throw it down. Perry getting chased. He'll just throw it around for Lund. Lund, long pass. Flies into the stands. And people had to duck and dive. And I don't know if anybody got that in a bad spot, but it was coming in fast. 3:20 to go in the second period. 1:35 to go on the power play. We're scoreless. Face-off won by the Trojans. Intercepted at the blue by Kurt, but Stormhawks would have been offsides if he skated in. O'Connell leaves for Lund. And then turned over. Now Thomas. Kurt had to step around Thomas. Let's make sure he got back in his crease. Tyler's pass, not sure who he's trying to go to there, but it went to Wayzata. Shot just missed, and it's come all the way out. 1 minute left on the Stormhawk penalty, or power play. O'Connell trying to create a turnover. Wayzata comes out with it, bounces to Lund on a fluttering puck. Gets around one check, down low for Kurt. Kurt on around the net, then his pass to Perry goes all the way down to Thomas. Perry's got a hustle here. Get around the penalty killer. Perry skating up the near side, getting around one defender. Cuts to the middle, loses control, and flipped out by the Trojans. Annis down to Olsen. Olsen skating across the red line now into Wayzata territory. That defenseman was flat-footed, and if Olsen was able to get around him, it's a scoring chance. Long shot by Annis, and easy save. "13 seconds left to go on the man advantage. 1:58 to go in the period. We still are waiting for our first goal of this game. Olsen wins it back to Robinson, across to Britz. Shot through some traffic, good save. And hoisted out by the Trojans. Robinson chasing in his own end as the penalty expires. Robinson loses a battle. Wayzata with it. They'll just dump it behind the net. Stormhawks 0 for 2. Penalty coming to Britz as he throws a check in the corner. And Britz will get his second of the night. I think it's Britz, or no, they're saying Nelson. So Nelson will get his second of the night. So number 19 in white, number 18 in black, both with 2 penalties. They're going to discuss here whether it should be more than 2 minutes. I think they are, at the very least, it looks like they're going to give him 2 and 10, I'm guessing, because they're asking about putting in a player. So if they give him 2 and 10, I believe his night is over, because that's his 3rd penalty. So a checking from behind penalty against Nelson. So it's a 2 minute, so Stormhawks will need a player to serve it. And as I mentioned last night, Jack Popa always willing to serve penalties for his team, and he does in this case. So 2 and 10 for Nelson. I feel like his night might be over because that's his third penalty. So he could just finish the period in the penalty box. But I don't. In junior gold, if you get 3 penalties in a night, your night's done. So a 2 and 10 minute checking from, or 2 minute checking from behind penalty with a 10-minute game misconduct. So Britt's falling down as he tries to get it out. Power play for Wayzata. They're 0 for 2. A good chance for Wayzata to take some momentum into the intermission. Olsen fighting through a check, able to get it all the way down. Wayzata slowly through the neutral zone. They'll dump and chase. It'll be Robinson first on it. He's sandwiched by a pair of Trojans. Try to pass in front. Sharp angle shot off the side of the net. And it's still loose on the weak side. And they score. So it looked like Thomas may have had the puck on the near side, but the whistle never came, and it squeaked out to the far side, and Stormhawks didn't recognize it. Wayzata saw it first and chops it in the open net, and it's 1-0 Wayzata with 51.1 to go in the second period, and that's a big momentum shifter for the Trojans as they will look to take the lead into the third period. Won by the Stormhawks, dumped in by Tyler. Tyler down the left side, thrown in front, and just gets past O'Connell. Now Lund intercepting. Lund at the bottom of the circle in the corner. He's hit in. Penalty coming against Wayzata. Here's Kurt. Kurt will dump it behind the net into that trench by the Zamboni door. And a penalty coming. They're going to call cross-checking against Wayzata. Stormhawks will get their third power play of the game with 30 seconds to play in the second period. And so a good opportunity for Chaska Chanhassen to get one here in the last 30 seconds to tie the game up. It'll be O'Connell on the face-off. He's got Tyler to his left, Kurt to his right, and then Perry and Lund. Face-off one right to Kurt, and then to O'Connell, up to Lund on a rolling puck. Down to O'Connell. His shot right on! Oh, the back door was there for Tyler, but it slips by him. Now Tyler tried to throw it in front, gives it to O'Connell. He loses control. Wayzata up the wall, held in by Lund to Perry, down to Kurt. Shot right on! Rebound into the slot. Perry with it with 7 seconds. Long shot. Penalty coming against Wayzata. Kurt up the wall to O'Connell, and that's going to come out, and that'll do it for the second period. It's going to be a 5-on-3 power play to start the third for Chaska Chanhassen. They had great chances there. This goaltender that they picked up 6 games ago has been up to the task. And we got a player just got tossed by Wayzata. So a slashing call at the end of the period, and then I think they may have tossed another player as well. So it'll be a 5-on-3 power play for Chaska Chanhassen to start the third. And maybe Wayzata will be playing with a player short. We'll have to see when we come back. But 1-0 after 2, Wayzata with the lead. We'll be back in a little bit. Third period getting underway here shortly. Stormhawks slowly coming out of the locker room. And I think I need to correct something. I thought that Bear Nelson had 3 penalties tonight. Of course, I don't see him on the ice now. And it's probably him. He's always late. No, that was Jacqueline. Huh. Well, I was going to correct myself and say Bear Nelson had 3 penalties and his night was over, but now I don't see him on the ice. Sorry about that. Anyway, Stormhawks will start the third period trailing 1-0, but with a 5-on-3 penalty for 1:30. Also, Wayzata had a player tossed from the game at the end of the period. Number 8 was thrown out. He got a game ejection. So I'm seeing if I see Nelson on the bench. I don't believe I do. Either he truly is out of the game, or he's really late coming out of the locker room. So 5-on-3 to start. It'll be Kurt O'Connell and Tyler. They had some outstanding chances in the later going of the period. Waiting to get the 15 minutes on the clock. And here we go. Kurt up to Tyler. Tyler will wait. Fans on the pass, regains, leaves it for Perry. Perry's pass, trying to give it to Kurt, is intercepted and fed all the way down. Lund. Cut off, gives across to Perry. Back to Lund. Into the zone. Circling the top of the zone. Throws it down, but turned right over. Thomas leaves it in the corner, but Lund skated away from it. Kurt will now leave for Tyler. Tyler into the zone. Cuts to the middle. Shot just missed the far post. Maybe looking for a rebound attempt for Kurt or O'Connell. Now Lund picking up a puck. Down to Kurt. To O'Connell. His shot just goes wide. What an opportunity there. Now Tyler behind the net. To Kurt. Looking to feed O'Connell in front. That's off a stick. 10 seconds on the 5-on-3. Lund with it. Across for Perry. Perry cuts to the middle. His shot ramps off a stick. Stormhawks need to make the puck move on a 5-on-3. They did for some there, but a shot like that is just not going to do it, especially against a goalie that's playing well. So 3 seconds up on 5-on-3, 3 seconds remaining of the 5-on-3, then Stormhawks will have about 30 seconds of 5-on-4. Face-off won by the Trojans, and they kill off the first penalty. So now 26 seconds of power play time. Olsen into the zone, try to cut in the middle, taken away. Now off the stick of Robinson. Wayzata on the attack, defended by Britt. Coming in, Britt's able to get a stick on it. Hubbard now will skate up. The waning moments of the penalty. Drops for Annis. And Annis will regain control. Long shot, tipped in front by Hubbard. Oh, and he got a stick on it, but the goaltender was square to the puck. Thomas across to Robinson. Too far for Robinson. Now Thomas stopping it, tried to feed it. Throws it behind the net. For Annis, he'll throw it off the wall. He's trying to give himself the puck, and now it's kept in by the Trojans, thrown up the near wall. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Annis and Olsen. Annis gets around one. Still fighting through a check, picked up by Olsen. Olsen up to Robinson. Long shot. Knocked down in front by Deming. He can't get a shot off. Deming tried to throw it in front. Now off the wall, kept in by Robinson. Long shot, tipped into the corner. Up the wall, intercepted by Britt. Long shot, right on. Rebound, kicked down by Annis. Rolls in on net. Stormhawks getting mugged in front, no penalty coming. Dumped down, intercepted by Britz in the neutral zone. He'll flip it back in. Stormhawks will clear the zone. Oh, a good rush there by Olsen, almost creating a turnover. Now a puck picked up by Reinhardt. Reinhardt cuts in. Chance. Oh, and a late whistle there, offsides. And I think it was offsides. Reinhardt just in a step early as somebody was coming out from the previous rush and just in a little before he had stepped out. So yeah, Nelson is out of the game. So despite the box score, I was going to say that box score said that McPhillips took the initial penalty, but maybe it was Nelson. I don't remember. Reinhardt at his blue line, across to Popa, mishandles it. Popa able to get it up the wall off of Popa's skates or whatever, and now Popa able to one-hand it in the zone. And forced right back out comes to Reinhardt. Reinhardt's pass, not sure where he's trying to go there. It's intercepted by the Trojans. They're able to dump it in. Popa down low. Round 4, McPhillips. Up the wall, knocked down by Reinhardt at the wall. Bounces to Popa, turned over. Backhand shot, stopped by Popa before it can get onto Thomas. Up for Deming. Deming can't get on the puck, and it's chipped out by Severson. And dumped into the Stormhawk bench as the coaches and Max Worthington dodge the puck so they don't get their bell rung, their teeth taken out. 11:02 to go in the third period. Stormhawks now 0 for 4, 0 for 5 on the power play as they could not score in the 5-on-3 and then the ensuing 5-on-4. Here comes the Trojans. Defended there by Reinhardt. Long shot saved by Thomas into the corner. Jacqueline trying to get it ahead. Bounces out to Popa. Popa flips it through the middle of the ice. That's intercepted. Comes right back in. Popa in the corner. Up the wall, but not strong enough to get to Long. Now in the corner. Kurt touches it across to Popa. Popa up to Long, and he'll skate out. Nope, and turn it right over. And the Stormhawks looking kind of like they did at the start of the first period. It's thrown out of play, and we'll have a face-off right in front of our position here. 10:16 to go. Chaska Chanhassen trailing 1-0. And the third period has not started all that well. Olsen wins the face-off perhaps too cleanly. Perry around for Olsen. He's pushed into the wall. Bounces off the stick of Lund. Now Lund will come to the near side. To O'Connell. He'll skate out. Long pass. Almost a chance there for Tyler if he could have created an interception. Good defense there by Perry, slowing up that rush, and it comes to Lund. Lund cuts to the middle. He'll skate up. Knocked off his stick to Tyler. Tyler gets around one defenseman, cuts to the middle, and then has it taken away. 2-on-1 rush coming the other way now for Wayzata. Chasing down is Tyler. Long shot going high over the net. Wayzata keeps it in, and it'll come across to Perry. He'll kick it down, and his outlet pass off a skate comes to Lund. Now back to Perry. Up to O'Connell. Leaves for Lund. And turns it over at the blue line. I've been saying turning it over a lot in this period. 9 minutes to play. Oh boy. Bad pass there by Lund. Throws it off the end wall. Comes right out in front. Now chipped ahead by Olsen. Olsen skating in alone. Olsen in! And goaltender makes a save. Couldn't really get a firm handle on that puck to make a move. Now a loose puck at the top of the zone gets by Annis. He'll chase it down into his zone. Annis off the wall, but not in the direction he wanted it to go. It'll be Perry with it. He'll take it up the near side. He's cut off, able to get it down low. He's taken down, no penalty coming. Now a loose puck to Robinson, long shot, pad save, bounces all the way out to the blue line and out. Hubbard with it's got a hustle, gives it to Robinson. Robinson will skate it up. Tried to pass it to the center for Severson, and then it's whacked all the way down for icing. as Brits takes a circuitous route to the puck to ensure it's icing. We'll have a face-off in Trojan territory with 7:57 to play in the third period. Stormhawks trail 1-0. Robinson can't hold the zone and allows Wayzata to skate up, defended by Brits. Long stick of Brits, can't stop the shot, and they score. So Robinson gets beat at the blue line, at the offensive blue line. Then Brits gets beat inside his zone. And Thomas then, he gets beat on the stick side, and it's 2-0 with 7:46. And now the Stormhawks have got to dig themselves out of this hole. Bounce off the stick of Deming, almost able to skate in. Now Kirk creating a turnover, skating in. And they say he was offsides as Deming had not cleared the zone yet. So this game means a whole lot for Wayzata if they look to secure their spot in the postseason tournament. Stormhawks, if we understand it correctly, are in. They are going to finish in fourth place. We looked at the results of other games. They cannot be passed by Buffalo. Buffalo lost tonight to Edina White. So the Stormhawks are locked into third. That should be an icing. They wave it. Now picked up by Kurt. Kurt shots right on. Rebound in front. And it's fed out. Reinhardt jumps up. McPhillips avoids a check, and Wayzata will get on the puck, throw it to the near side. And Reinhardt jumping up, able to hold the zone. McPhillips flips it in. Kicked down by the Trojans all the way down. No icing. Now Reinhardt leaves for Popa. Popa to McPhillips. And he'll reverse. His pass off the side of the net. Now turned over to the Trojans. Intercepted now by Kurt. He'll skate up. Give to Deming, but it was behind him. Chipped back in by the Trojans. And the Stormhawks are playing like they did in the first period. Long shot goes high and wide, bounces out to Olsen. And he tried to leave it for Perry. Now a touch pass from Jacqueline to Olsen. Skating in with Perry. Olsen in, stops as he cuts to the net. Now Olsen chasing in the corner. Ooh, he goes in awkwardly there. Hopefully he's okay. He went in feet first. Jacqueline battling in the corner. Olsen went in strangely. It looked like the blades of his skate went in first. And hopefully he's all right. Getting up, I think he'll be able to get up on his own power. He'll be all right, I think. He's favoring his left leg. So Olsen drawing I believe it was a hooking call. And that's what sent Olsen into the boards. And so the Stormhawks will get a power play that they desperately need a goal from with 5:56 to go in the third period. Trailing 2-0. Stormhawks, with their play in recent weeks, not leading a lot of confidence leading into the postseason. They have not played all that well. There's been turnovers galore and a fair amount of selfish play where they try to do too much with the puck. And there was a semi-example there. Severson gives to Lund. Lund up to Tyler off his stick to negate icing, but the pass was too far for him to control. Now Lund with it. Lund taken down, penalty coming. Up to Perry, long shot goes wide. And Wayzata will touch. And it'll be a 5-on-3 power play for minute 25. So the second straight 5-on-3 of about a minute and a half for Chaska Chanhassen. And they really need this one here. If they can score on the 5-on-3, they'll still have a power play after that of 5-on-4. So another golden opportunity for the Stormhawks here. This goaltender has been outstanding. The Stormhawks have been, in some ways, their own worst enemy as well. Con a little 50-50 puck, but he wins it back to Lund. Down to Kurt. In his skates, he digs it out. In front! And a redirect by Tyler. Doesn't get on net. Now Perry. Long shot. Tipped in front. Kurt with it. Shot right on pad save, and he gathers the rebound. .108 to go on the power play. 5:03 to go in the game. Wayzata with the 2-0 lead. Face-off one back to Lund. To Perry. And looking for a redirect from Kurt, but a little behind him. Now Tyler. To O'Connell. Perry down to Kurt. He's cut off. Kurt circling away, coming out with it. Up to Lund. Down to Kurt. Shot right on. No rebound. .39 seconds to go on the 5-on-3 advantage. 4:34 in the game. Stormhawks still trail 2-0. They win this face-off. They're perfect in this power play on the face-off. Reinhardt. To Annis. His shot right on. Rebound. Comes out too long. He fans on it. Finds the puck. Skates in. Shot right on. No rebound. Stormhawks getting their shots, getting their opportunities here, but this goaltender has been outstanding. This face-off won by Wayzata off the glove of Long, and they'll regroup at center ice. Long across to Reinhardt. 12 seconds left to go on the man advantage, or the 5-on-3. Long in to Brits, but can't get it on net. Now across to Annis. One-time shot going over the crossbar. Penalty coming against Wayzata. And a penalty will go against both players. So Britt's wanting the explanation again, and he's going to get sent to the box. So it was going to be another 5-on-3 for a short period, but then Britt's may have responded, and so now it'll be just a 5-on-4 power play. Brits takes his second of the game. Well, that was, I didn't see what he did, but he must have retaliated for whatever happened before. So interference to Wayzata and a tripping call to Brits. He doesn't think he was guilty, but I don't think there's been a penalty on Luke Brits this season in which he feels he's guilty. It's kind of like Shawshank Prison. Everyone in Shawshank is innocent, and that's the Luke Brits model. So it should be 5-on-4 for 26 seconds. They're trying to try to figure this out here, but should be, yep, they got it set. 5-on-4 for 26 seconds for Stormhawks, and then the Trojans will come out and it'll be even. Face off one back, but too strong past O'Connell. Thomas comes out. Turns it over, and a chance there for Wayzata. Now a chance in front, save Thomas. O'Connell will skate up. 13 seconds on the power play. O'Connell down the right side. Taken down, penalty coming. And Chaska Jansen will get another 5-on-3. This one will be a short one. Only 7 seconds of 5-on-3. The tripping call for number 13 for Wayzata. It was an easy call. If Wayzata's going to win this game, it's it's going to be because of their goaltender. I mean, they've also scored twice, obviously, but their goaltender has kept them in this completely. O'Connell fans on the one-timer as the first penalty now expires. Down to Kurt. Kurt with it. Backdoor to Annis, and he was deflected and thrown all the way out. So Stormhawks with the 5-on-4 power play now. Picking up a loose puck is Lund. Lund into the zone. Shot deflected off a stick into the corner. Kurt coming up with it, leaving it for London behind the net, but it hopped over his stick, and Wayzata will toss it down. Thomas throws it around the wall for Lund. He'll leave for Annis. Annis up the far side, cutting in the middle, has Kurt coming in. Oh, and Annis didn't. He went to shoot. He had Kurt alone skating to the net, and he doesn't feed it to him. Now a long shot goes wide. 1 minute to play on the power play. Lund's pass behind Kurt. Kurt's still going to be able to get to it. Overskates it a little bit. And Olsen had skated in offsides as Kurt went to regain control of that puck. 55 seconds left to go on the power play for the Stormhawks. 2:22 left in the game. And they're gonna tie this game. They need to get that first one real soon. Hubbard able to get it in. This rolls to a Wayzata player, and he'll dump it all the way down. And you might as well just keep doing that, even when you have the, well, I was going to say, even when you are 5-on-5, but you don't want faceoffs in the offensive zone. Perry kicks to Severson. Severson to Hubbard. That was a dangerous pass, as Hubbard could have got blown up there. Dumped back down by the Trojans. Perry in his own zone. As it bounced off his stick to Lund. Lund's pass up to McPhillips. McPhillips cuts to the middle, tipped off of his stick, bounces to Perry. Perry gets it in the zone, and they battle just inside the blue line. Now Lund with it. Scores! Lund gets a loose puck and deposits this puck on the stick side of the netminder. And it's 2-1 Stormhawks, I think unassisted by Josh Lund. 1:32 to go, and it's 2-1. Stormhawks finally get on the board. It's a power play goal. They had enough opportunities. There were only 5 seconds left on the power play. So Lund gets his 9th of the season. We're going to call it unassisted. And we'll see if they give an assist in post game, but it was hard to tell. Oh, there's too many men on the ice for the Stormhawks. But Brits jumps off. I think Chaska Jennison may be thinking of getting the extra attacker. Now Lund skating up into the zone. In front to Kurt, and his shot deflects wide. In front again to Annis. That's pushing to the corner. Looking for Thomas, seeing if he comes out of the net. With 1:08 to go. They dig away in the corner. Thomas still in his crease. Now he skates with 1 minute to play, and that's exactly when it's turned over. And he comes right back. Now into the corner. Wayzata's pass intercepted now by Annis. Annis skating up. Stopped at the blue line, and a slashing call. And it'll be a 6-on-4 power play with 43 seconds. So he's 6-on-4 for Chaska Jennison with 43 seconds to go as the net is empty for the Stormhawks. So a 6-on-4 power play. It'll be Olsen, O'Connell, Annis, Lund, and Brits. Face-off won by Wayzata, and they're able to get it all the way down. The Stormhawks are going to have to hustle here with about 35 seconds to play. Brits mishandles and almost turns it over right in front of the net. Gives now to Olsen. And they call... That's the lamest thing ever. You couldn't let the game play out. That is so stupid. That is the dumbest rule in Minnesota hockey. Ice time runs out. There's not a game coming after us. but the referee blows it because the clock ran out. That is lame. So whatever. Wayzata wins 2-1. Stormhawks had so many opportunities to score. Minnesota hockey rules suck with a team that was going to have a 6-on-4 power play with 29 seconds to go, and they call the game. That's unbelievable. 2-1 the final. Stormhawks lose to Wayzata Blue. And the regular season's over. Stormhawks fall to 29-1. 16-7-1 in league play is the final record. Wayzata improves to 9-12-1 in division play. And that does it for the regular season. We'll be back in action next Friday from Maple Grove for the playoffs. Thanks for watching. 2-1, Wayzata with the win.